I can't even smile. I'm just so upset at this. Okay. I got family over, people are cooking. I had to do a video on this while it's fresh on my brain. Okay. So no pretty pictures, no flowers, no none of that. Welcome back to Smell the Roses, everyone. My name is Raquel, and you have entered the garden. Please come in, sit down, and let's get serious, okay? I'm going to start before I show this video from the Do Better podcast with Theo Coop. I'm going to read you all a statistic, okay, that is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, okay? And it says, researchers have found that at least 1 in 6 men have experienced sexual abuse or assault, whether in childhood or as adults. And this is probably a low estimate since it doesn't include non contact experiences, which can also have lasting negative effects. If you have had such an experience or you think you might have, you are not alone. Whoever you are, maybe you're thinking something like 1 in 6. Come on now, how can that be? Or even, that can't be true. Again, if so, you are not alone. Those are common responses to this statistic, which many people find hard to believe, including men who have had such experiences themselves. I'm going to drop the link to this research in the description of this video, okay? So that you all can read it and get familiar with this information. Many of you have brothers, fathers, sons, and this is really serious, okay? This is not something that you take lightly, and none of us can speak on experiences that are not our own. Okay. So if you ever hear of this from someone, don't be combative with them. Don't tell them that their experience wasn't what they actually experienced. Listen, show empathy, and maybe suggest ways that they can seek help in getting over the experience or having a better understanding of what happened to them in that experience. Okay? But I'm going to let the video play, and I have to say that I agree with every word that Mr. Theo Coop says in regards to this situation with Kendra G and the young man that you see on her show. Here we go.
One of Kendra G's worst calls. And what makes it even worse than what you guys are going to watch right here is that she attempted to delete the live stream after getting all this criticism. This young gentleman, Poppy Dan, 1991, is going to explain how he was pretty much SA, and Kendra G does not believe him whatsoever. Shameful. Let's get into it.
Papa Dan.
Papa Dan.
Yeah, Papa Dan.
Papa Dan?
Yeah. It's my company, my business. But yeah.
Say
So
what,
I've been
sir?
on your show before. Yeah, I've been on your show before, like back in 2022 when you first got
3 years ago.
Yeah, a little minute ago. Yeah. So then that was back when I was in Florida. I live in St. Louis now. So
we've grown so much. We got the KendraGM, we got a dating app. So you want to do it again?
I'm here to try again. Different city, new people, you know what I mean? So let's go for it.
Let's go for it. What's your name, sir? You said Pop. So what am I going to call you?
You can call me Daniel, Papa Dan. That's
Daniel. No. Daniel, and you're in St. Louis now?
St. Louis now.
How old are you?
33, going on 34.
Okay, and what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces, March 5th, baby.
Okay. You have any kids?
I have a son.
How old is your son?
He's going to be 2. He's another Pisces, just like his daddy.
Why are you not with the mama?
He's March 10th.
Why are you not with the mama? You had a baby since you've been on my show, too.
Yeah. another person trying to run the system, try to take advantage, you know.
She raped you?
Yeah, you can say that. We won't, as a man, I can't really run with that narrative because nobody really believe it. But yeah, I put it on the Bible that that's what happened. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still an accountable adult. Still got to do what I have to do in this world, you know, because that is my prodigy. So nevertheless, how he got here, that's what we doing.
I need the details of how you got raped by the girl.
How many times has Kendra G talked to women who've come onto her show and said that they've been assaulted in some type of manner? Name me the number of times when Kendra G says, hey, okay, well, explain to me your great mental note.
She is not a citizen of America. So naturally, if you've been in America illegally, you know, you're going to try to do your best to try to stay. And in your mind and way of thinking, not even if you ask any of your homegirls that's international too, they'll tell you, ain't a good idea to just, go up sleep with an American dude and just try to have a baby so you can try to stay in America, hoping he will marry you. That's what they be hoping they gonna marry you. No, they ain't gonna get got, ain't gonna get Papa Dan. No, won't gonna get me.
Papa Dan, so I wanted to explain your side.
What's up?
With all that being said, you still have to willingly have, this is why I said, because that's the only way a woman could trap you.
Right.
But if you willingly had sex with her, then you participated. So did you willingly have sex with her?
I mean, she got me. I used to make wine back then. So, like I said, on the level of accountability,
she Bill Cosby you? She gave you a pill?
For me, I can say on a level of accountability, you know, when a woman wraps their legs around you in the process of you being on top and you trying to relinquish yourself from the situation, and she's saying, no, dude, you ain't going nowhere. You gonna have my baby. And in that moment, as a dude, you're like, all right, well, shit, we gonna do plan B like we normally do. And then she looked at me like, no, we ain't doing that neither. So, you know, I was like,
okay, so again, so she's letting you know all this in the act, and you still went through with it. So how was this?
He literally just explained to you, Kendra G, but Kendra G is one of those women who they can't fathom a man being taken advantage of. And let me throw this out there, because even when men are victims, like this gentleman is going to explain that he is, even when men are victims, men are still held accountable. We would never put a magnifying glass on a woman if she ever said she was assaulted. But as a man, I can say this, Papa Dan, you messed up by having intercourse with a low caliber woman. If she's just trying to sleep with you for a green card, she's not a woman of high character. The second of all, you should have wore a condom, bro. You would have had your rubber on when the time happened, and she tried to lock you in, because that's what she's saying, Kendra G. Because Kendra G's not the brightest bulb in the pack. You need to explain to her how sexual organs work. When he went to ejaculate, Kendra, what he's trying to explain to you is that she wrapped her legs around him and held him inside of her, which meant that the only thing that he could do is releasing her and then have her get a plan B in the morning to prevent said pregnancy. And she said she wasn't going to do it.
You know, women's right, her body, her choice.
Exactly. So here's the deal, her body, her choice, but you can decide not to put your body inside her body. That
Very
was your
well
choice.
so. And that's the level of accountability that I have in the situation. I used to be a winemaker. She got me drunk off my own supply. I don't ever drink my own supply. 13% alcohol content. She said, "Ooh, Dan, you come and drink this wine with me in the room. I'm gonna bring a glass." I'm like, I ain't trying to, you know, but my dumb self did what it did, and that's just the level of accountability I have for it. So here we are today, you know, trying to hope and pray we can find a wholesome woman that can treat your boy right. Somebody with some knowledge on her side that has been through the trenches and know how tough it is in this dating pool that got all the piss in it, you know?
Look at her face, bro.
All the work in progress out here, you know?
Look at her face.
That's the story you really want to tell? So that's the story you really going with?
I'm going to say you put the words in my mouth when you initially said rape.
No, you were supposed to. Hold on. I was being.
What's that?
I said that. No, hold on real quick. I said that because you said a woman trapped you. So sarcastically, I said, oh, she you.
Right.
And then you said yes.
Why would you sarcastically say that? I'm telling you, women like this, they can't fathom that women assault men. Women assault men every single day, just like there's piece of shit men out here who assault women. You can see that obviously one way with men doing it to women, but she can't see it the other way. Like you don't see women every single day being arrested for being high school teachers, getting impregnated by high school boys. This happens every single day.
You know what? A man can never be a damsel in distress.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be masculine. We're not supposed to have feelings. But in the whole light of the situation, when we had the pre-conversation.
So let me go back to what I started reading to you all in the beginning. Okay. So basically, when men have these experiences, because they know no one will believe them, it goes unreported. Okay. They already know that no one's going to believe them. So the statistic 1 in 6, when you read the research, is woefully underreported. They can't even tell you the real number because men don't disclose this information because of what you see Kendra G doing right now. This is why I say, Kendra, you are a misandrist. This is misandry. This is misandry.
About kids, I didn't want to have kids at that time.
So here's the deal. Okay, if you don't want to have kids at times, then your responsibility is A, you don't have sex with her because you don't want to have kids. B, you wear a condom to protect yourself from having kids.
Yeah.
And then we can have the grown folks, there is a grown folks pull out game. So my thing is, regardless of what she said, you are still a man that has to take accountability for participating in the activity.
I've already said, we can rewind the video, love. I've already taken accountability for the whole issue.
She is not listening. He said he tried the pull out game and she wouldn't let him pull out, which is why he's calling it SA. But like Mr. Theo Coop said earlier, Kendra, you don't seem to be the brightest light bulb in the pack. That's why you deleted this video. Yeah. You got smart all of the sudden because we think the chat was dragging you for filth for this, right? Because this was a rabbit hole you didn't really even need to go down. But because of your misandry, you kept pushing the issue to be right. What did Kevin Samuels tell everyone? What is it? Shame, guilt, and the need to be right. She's shaming him, she's guilting him, and now she has to be right against him. She's going to insult him too. I think it's shame, guilt, insults, and the need to be right. I'm so pissed I can't even remember it. But here we go again, referencing Kevin Samuels, because he was telling us back then about you, Kendra, and about the type of woman you are. You are a template of a misandrist woman.
Shows Kendra G is not listening. He literally said this minutes ago, but she's not listening because she's already has him tuned out because there's no way in her mind that a man could be assaulted sexually.
So let's just do this then. Let's on record deny that you were because you was not.
She was there.
I'll just say in a woman's eyes, no. But if I was to talk to a group of men and tell them what happened, it didn't happen to several dudes. We just don't talk about it. These are like stories we don't tell. Crips.
Hi, welcome.
Sorry, guys. I'm so mad I hit the wrong button. But do you see what's happening here? Do you see what's happening? She's diminishing his experience because she just can't fathom it. In her mind, it didn't happen. In her mind,
this is absolutely one of Kendra G's worst calls.
America. So
this can't happen because it's not happening. It's not a woman saying a man did it. It's a man saying a woman did it. This has me so livid. I have a son. He's 14 years old. I wish a teacher would talk to him like this. Isn't there Aren't there teachers in the news right now in trouble for being impregnated by their middle school and high school students? So, Kendra, is that SA? But the data tells us, the data says 1 in 6. So one of 6 men that you know have had this experience. And that's what he's talking about. If you put me in a room full of men, they would agree with me. It says a study from 2005 conducted by the Centers for Disease Control reported that 16% of males were SA'd by the age of 18. Is that a lie too, Kendra? Have you lost your mind, girl? I feel sorry for you. What happened to you that this is just, you have no empathy towards men? This is not the first time that you've done a man dirty on your channel, but this has got to be the lowest you have ever gone. The absolute lowest. I mean, oh my God, disgusting you are. You are disgusting. So I'm going to go back. We're going to go back and try to pick up where we left off.
So naturally, if you've been in America illegally, you know, you're going to try to do your best to try to stay. And in your mind and way of thinking,
if you willingly had sex with her, then you participated. So did you willingly have sex with her?
I mean, she got me. I used to make wine back then. So
so she's letting you know all this in the act, and you still went through with it. So how was this?
He literally just explained to you, Kendra G, but Kendra G is one of those women who they can't fathom a man being taken advantage of. And let me throw this out there, because even when men are victims, like this gentleman is going to explain that he is, even when men are victims, men are still held accountable. We would never put a magnifying glass on a woman if she ever said she was assaulted. But as a man, I can say this, Papa Dan, you messed up by having intercourse with a low caliber woman. If she's just trying to sleep with you for a green card, she's not a woman of high character. And second of all, you should have wore a condom, bro. If you would have had your rubber on when the time happened, and she tried to lock you in, because that's what she's saying, Kendra G. Because Kendra G's not the brightest bulb in the pack. You need to explain to her how sexual organs work. When he went to ejaculate, Kendra, what he's trying to explain to you is that she wrapped her legs around him and held him inside of her, which meant that the only thing he could do is releasing her and then have her get a plan B in the morning to prevent said pregnancy. And she said she wasn't going to do it.
You know, women's right, her body, her choice.
Exactly. So here's the deal, her body, her choice, but you can decide not to put your body inside her body. That
Very
was your
well
choice.
so. And that's the level of accountability that I have in the situation. I used to be a winemaker. She got me drunk off my own supply. I don't ever drink my own supply. 13% alcohol content. She said, "Ooh, Daniel, come and drink this wine with me in the room. I'm gonna bring a glass." I'm like, I ain't trying to, you know, but my dumb self did what it did, and that's just the level of accountability I have for it. So here we are today, you know, trying to hope and pray we can find a wholesome woman that could treat your boy right. Somebody with some knowledge on her side that has been through the trenches and know how tough it is in this dating pool that got all the piss in it, you know?
Look at her face, bro.
All the work in progress out here, you know?
Look at her face.
That's the story you really want to tell? So that's the story you really going with?
I'm going to say, you put the words in my mouth when you initially said rape.
No, you were supposed to, I was being.
What's that?
I said that, no, hold on real quick. I said that because you said a woman trapped you. So sarcastically, I said, oh, she you? Right. And then you said yes.
Why would you sarcastically say that? I'm telling you, women like this, they can't fathom that women assault men. Women assault men every single day, just like there's piece of shit men out here who assault women. You can see that obviously one way with men doing it to women, but she can't see it the other way. Like you don't see women every single day being arrested for being high school teachers, getting impregnated by high school boys. This happens every single day.
You know what? A man can never be a damsel in distress.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be masculine. We're not supposed to have feelings. But in the whole light of the situation, when we had the pre-conversation about kids, I didn't want to have kids at that time.
So here's the deal. Okay, if you don't want to have kids at times, then your responsibility is A, you don't have sex with her because you don't want to have kids. B, you wear a condom to protect yourself from having kids. Yeah. And then we can have the grown folks. There is a grown folks pull out game. So my thing is, regardless of what she said, you are still a man that has to take accountability for participating in the activity.
Like I've already said, we can rewind the video, love. I've already taken accountability for the whole issue.
Which shows Kendra G is not listening. He literally said this minutes ago, but she's not listening because she's already has him tuned out because there's no way in her mind that a man could be assaulted sexually.
So let's just do this then. Let's on record deny that you were because you was not.
She was there.
I'll just say in a woman's eyes, no. But if I was to talk.
She said, let's go on record to say you being essayed was a lie. Oh my God. If a teacher ever spoke like this to my son, she'd be spitting her teeth out of her mouth. Kendra, this was a step too far. You shouldn't even be talking about this subject on this kind of show with all of the scum of the earth women you interview day after day after day after day. Just stick to dating advice, or not even advice, just stick to the script of your show. Like Corey Holcomb said on Tuesday, you are better off sticking to the script you stole from Kevin Samuels. When you take it off the script, you go off the rails into a negative, dark direction. This is despicable behavior from you, Kendra. Whatever this man's story is, it's his story, it's his life, and you don't get to tell him what he's lying about. Why is that so, what is wrong with you? And you have eggs somewhere freezing? You have eggs freezing somewhere? You're going to be a mother talking like that to your child? Oh, God, you are just so despicable.
Talk to a group of men and tell them what happened. It didn't happen to several dudes. We just don't talk about it. These are like stories we don't tell. Crip stories we just don't tell. But at the end of the day, my perception is my perception of what really happened. Only I and the person that had the child that up and decided to be a single mother, because a lot of times, you don't understand, if there are women striving out here to be single mothers, they do not want men in the picture. And
Dan, listen, hold on real quick. Dan, I'm not disagreeing with her intentions, right? Maybe her intentions were to get pregnant by you, to stay in America. There's no disagreement there.
Right.
The intentions of what you're describing could very well be true. The disagreement is you claiming to have been like, that's the disagreement.
Discrepancy wise, so I can give you so we can move on. I got drunk off my own supply of wine that I made, that I squished with my hands. You serve me wine, you force it down my throat, I get drunk. Now, every woman's story is if they get drunk and they get instantly, the man is guilty, he goes to jail, lock away the key in the chamber of secrets. But like I said, in America, realistically, that will never be the man's narrative. And that's why hold on, let me finish. That's why
I'm not
gonna
let you finish, because I'm gonna let you finish, and I'm jumping in because
sure.
You are telling the wrong story. When those women are using the example of they have passed out, right?
Did you hear what she said? She said, you're telling the wrong story. Was she essayed? Is this her story or is this his story? How can his story be wrong? What is she in the fucking Twilight Zone? I think the chemicals from that weave glue have settled down in her amygdala. This is so disheartening and evil and hateful.
No. First of all, how are you going to tell that man what happened to him?
Bang! Bang! It's good!
How in the hell are you going to tell that man what happened to him? You weren't there. And what KendraG's is trying to insinuate is that if you ever hear a story of a woman being with a man and having too much to drink, it's because she's passed out. She can't give his consent. That is a lie from the pits of hell. Women can turn around, have sex with a dude, had too much to drink, wake up the next morning and say, damn, well, I regret having sex with a dude. You don't have to be passed out unconscious. They can just say, hey, I regret having sex with a dude. That was great now, even though it wasn't great last night when he was taking you to Pound Town. Or there doesn't even have to be alcohol involved. A woman could just say the very next day or hours later after having intercourse with a dude, she could turn around and say, well, no, I take that back. It was great. KendraG is in certain scenarios that didn't happen. They're going to tell this man how he was assaulted. What?
So these are women that if they were drugged, they will say that they were not even coherent in the act of sex. They cannot.
I'm telling you that I wasn't coherent.
No, you are coherent because you told me exactly what happened. You told me she was on top of you. You told me that.
I told you I was on top of her. She put her legs around me.
Either way, you are telling me exactly what happened in the sexual activity. So you were not, you were conscious. So you can't use that as an example. And conscious, only thing you can say is if you don't remember nothing, and then that will still be hard because then it'll be like, how did you have an erection? But long story short, you cannot compare yourself to women who have been drugged because these women don't remember anything. You can recite
quote unquote.
No, quote unquote. That's what I'm saying. She's saying that shit is it's a fact. And also, KendraG, he can still get an erection even if he doesn't remember it or all the other excuses you're using.
Just like women can still have moisture down there in the act of SA, even when they don't want it. Your anatomy and the situation don't always have to match. I don't know like how far this woman went in college or how many books she's read since she's left. But she is just so out of pocket right now. I am so disgusted of her. Again, you know, when I do these videos, I'm always thinking of my son, my brother, my dad, my husband. Who advocates for men when messed up things happen to them? Really nobody. All they have is each other and the few of us women who dare stand out and say, this is wrong, guys, or ladies. This is wrong, lady. This is wrong, KendraG. This is jacked up. She deleted this video, y'all. We wouldn't be able to watch this video had it not been for Mr. Theo Coop and the Do Better podcast people downloading this video so that we can have it because she knew she was going to get dragged for this. And I hope that for the KendraG supporters that are on my page telling me that my Tamron Hall review of her is wrong and inappropriate, what do y'all have to say about this? Am I getting it wrong on this too? It's okay for her to tell this man that his lived experience didn't happen the way he sees it.
Quote, Kendra don't remember anything. Anybody can wake up from consciousness during the act of something and completely fall back asleep. And when you go to court, like I said, it's her word against mine. Like I said, Kendra, at the end of the day, I'm not here to stir no pot. I'm not on here to stir the Yaya Sisterhood, Traveling Pants Club. We ain't here to do none of that. We just here to see if there's any honest women out here that can understand their brother's situation, because there's a lot of other brothers have been through the same thing I have. And I could be a bitter baby daddy, and I could be bashing her.
1 and 6. Remember the ticker at the bottom of this screen. 1 and 6 other men will say that this or something like this has happened to them. So he is right. He is not alone.
All over the world, like most men would, but I don't have time to do that. I'm a progressive male. I done moved on with my life. She done got a whole nother man and is doing what she doing. So for me, we can all we can do is be adults about any situation and move past it. If we can't work what we got out, move past
Babe, we're gonna move forward with the interview, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Only a goofy woman is gonna reach out to you.
Do you hear what she just said?
So when you were talking about, you gotta understand that type of woman is gonna hit you up. Any woman with any sense is gonna look at what you're saying about your ex and the child's mother and try to consider that as like, what the hell are you talking about?
Now, has Kendra G ever told any of these disgusting baby mamas who have 7 children by 7 different men on a dude that's 6'5" and make $500,000? Those delusional ass women, have she ever said, oh, you're only gonna get goofies that call you? Let alone a woman who's called up and told Kendra G, I was great. Because the minute that women go on Kendra G's show and say that she was assaulted, Kendra says,
I'm sorry to hear that about you.
and it keeps it moving. He's never asked him to justify how she was great. What happened? And it gets worse, y'all. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It gets worse.
Right. And this is why certain words we just don't say. So jokingly, it was a joke to you. Wasn't a joke to me. I never nor laughed once about it.
It's funny to Kendra.
But nevertheless, you wanted to know more information about it. I have nothing to hide in this world. That's between me and God at the end of the day.
Well,
So
I want to say this again.
Sure.
How I got there was because you said you were taken advantage of. That's why I said that. And then we went down this whole rabbit hole. I would have never said that if you didn't claim to have been taken advantage of.
I honestly don't feel like it's neither near here nor relevant to my decision making and how I conduct myself now. That was then, this is now, this is present day. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what more you could really.
Look at how dismissive she is. That cold like a snake. Right? Like, look at how dismissive. She's looking off, looking away. She said she would have never went down this rabbit hole had he not said that he had been taken advantage of. Again, would she talk like this to her child if her child came to her and said this? Could this be the reason why no man has wifed her or made her a mother yet? Do they read this cold snake-like behavior when they lay down in the bed with her and her big knockers? Oh, this is
want from me in that particular situation. Whether I get a goofy woman or not, I think everybody is goofy until proven not goofy. So
okay, fair enough. What happened? What's the narrative?
There's no narrative about me getting anything like that. I don't, like I said, as a man, I just tell people I have a kid, and that's all the end of the story. But
the only reason why we went,
if we used to write a comic book like we in the classifieds, that's what it would look like. You know what I mean?
No, it wouldn't. It actually wouldn't look like this. Whenever you give consensual sex, it's not. And according to us, what you have described was consensual sex.
No, according to you. That's what you're saying. Not according to us. Don't speak for the audience, because remember, Kendra G took this video down. And the reason she took it down was because her chat was telling her, Kendra, you're wrong. And it was women, not just men. It was women saying, Kendra G, you're victim blaming. So don't act like you make it a determination for all of us. It was your opinion.
You described the act of sex. She told you what was going on. You are 6'4". There's no way you can't get a woman off of your body if you did not want her on your body. So to claim rape as the man of your stature, no one's gonna believe that.
Right.
No, Kendra, you're not going to believe that. And let me ask you this: if it was a 500-pound Shirley saying that she got raped by a 150-pound dude, is Kendra G going to say, "Oh, you're bigger than him. You should have got him off you"?
Bang! Bang! It's good.
Of course she would.
That's what I'm saying. You see, you see, man. God rest the Godfather, man, because he don't understand what I'm saying, man.
Rest in peace to the Godfather.
That's all I'm trying to say. Wouldn't nobody believe that narrative, which is why I don't spew it. It's not even a joke. It ain't even hee ha ha funny. So at the end of the day, I still have a child. Still got to take care of him. Got to deal with baby mom. Got to live my life. Just like she living hers, all happy and cuddled up with her new dude. I'm trying to get me a new boo. We about to come out of this hibernation season, and I'm trying to be prepared for the summertime. You know?
All right, ladies, one more time. I'm going to show you. You know, I need prayer to host this show.
No, you need a brain transplant.
Papa Dan is his name on the KendraGSingles dating app.
And I'll end it right there. Right after that video, I was going to think, man, she has to feel some type of way. She has to be looking at the comments and realizing, because her demeanor kind of changed somewhat during the video. I would like to think that the comments was lighting her up, but I don't have the screenshots from the comments. But she just goes on to the next call like, huh, okay. And again, Kendra G, take this video down. So the Kendrites, the hardcore Kendra G lovers who always talk about us critiquing Kendra G, she victim blamed this man who got assaulted. I don't want to hear shit. Go to her comments and let her know how you feel. I don't want to hear, oh, Theo, you picking on Kendra. No, this is what she did. If you ain't got no smoke for Kendra, don't be in my comments with this nonsense. Do better, squad.
Oh, I agree with every word he said, every single word he said. I'm going to drop the link to this video that we just reviewed in my description box, along with the link to the research that I read to you all in the beginning of this video. And you all, you can't diminish people's experiences just because you don't understand them. Don't go out into the world acting like Kendra G, okay? If you've made it this far in the video, please drop a rosebud in the comments. I'd love to see it. I appreciate you all for watching. Mr. Theo Coop is going to be interviewing Dan. So when that video drops, I'll definitely post it on my community page so that you all can go over there and check it out. I would love to hear this young man's story. And I'm pretty sure that most of my rosebuds would too. Okay. And if you are a Kendra G supporter, please don't come into my comment section talking crazy, because I'm with that smoke today. I'm with it. I agreed with every word Mr. Theo Coop said. I agreed with every word the young man Dan said as he was getting interviewed by Kendra. I think Kendra is a disgrace. I think the reason why Kendra doesn't have children is because God also knows that she's a disgrace. And that's my opinion on it, Rosebuds. I hope you all have a good night. Bye-bye.